The other day I did a video about not answering questions you don't want to answer. Now, this is sort of like a corollary to that. It's about your political beliefs. Long story short, keep your political beliefs to yourself. Yes, keep your political beliefs to yourself when you're at work. Keep them to yourself when you're talking wherever, in public, in a restaurant, some shit like that. Don't get into any kind of political argument. Just keep your fucking mouth shut about your political beliefs, okay? Because to tell you the truth, in the political environment that we are living in today, expressing your political beliefs now will only hurt you, and hurt you very, very badly. Now, presumably you who are watching me are probably conservative, right? You're probably conservative, or at least, you're not swallowing the bullshit of the leftists, right? Yeah, because I mean, if you're watching a channel called Coach Red Pill, what the fuck you expect, right? Yeah. But here's the truth of the matter. See, back in the day, back in the 70s and earlier, right, you could more or less talk about your political opinions and beliefs in mixed company, if you will. You, as a conservative, could have a civilized conversation with somebody who was a liberal. But that's not the case anymore, because what's going on is that, see, liberals have gone insane. It's as simple as that, okay? And to try to gussy it up or something else, no. They have gone out of their fucking minds. For reasons that, I have my suspicions and theories, but, that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is see how political beliefs, your political beliefs, however sensible you might find them to be, they could only hurt you. Because, see, most of the time, there's going to be somebody who not only disagrees with you, but thinks that your political beliefs, by definition, make you a bad person. This isn't just leftists attacking guys who are conservative. No, come on, let's face facts. There are a lot of conservatives who think that leftists are fucking idiots. And that as soon as you hear the guy's a leftist, you're like, he's a fucking moron, yeah? By definition, yeah. We're unfortunately getting into that stage, this kind of political polarization. And so it really goes in both directions. Whenever a conservative hears a liberal speak, we think he's a moron. And whenever a liberal hears a conservative speak, he says he's a moron, but also he's a racist and a sexist and a misogynist and this, that, the other, and a whole bunch of other shit. But that's not the point, see? If you express your political beliefs, there is a group of people who are going to hate you for it. And they are going to try to fuck you up for it. And so, quite frankly, the smart move is to keep your fucking mouth shut. Especially at work. Oh yeah, especially at work where you make your living. Yeah, let me ask you something. See, you work at whatever job, okay? And it's a complicated job. IT, finance, law, whatever the fuck. It doesn't really matter what the job is, right? How does your political beliefs influence your ability to do your job? Because the fact of the matter is, unless you are working for a political organization, like a political party or some organization, some NGO or whatever, a foundation or think tank that is specifically political. If you have a run-of-the-mill job, you work at a company that manufactures widgets, you are a lawyer at a law firm or a doctor at a hospital or whatever the fuck, right? How is it exactly that your political beliefs will matter in your professional environment? Simple answer is they won't matter. Nobody's going to give a shit. You're a lawyer, an accountant. Say you're an accountant. Who gives a fuck what you think about the political issues of the day? Huh? And how will that improve your job? Will it give you a raise? Will you get more money because of the fact that you think this, that, or the other politically? Huh? Because if there is a raise to be had, then sure, that makes sense, right? But see, if there's a raise to be had because of holding some political beliefs, I don't know, let's say for the sake of argument that you work at some accounting firm that has the political belief that cannibalism is good. And that if you believe that cannibalism is good, you're going to get a, I don't know, $10,000 a year raise, right? I have never participated in cannibalism, but if I worked at a firm that will bump me 10K per year if I espouse cannibalism, then fucking A, I'm gonna say, yes, I believe in cannibalism, even though I might be a fucking vegan for all they know, but I'll say it, of course. But you see the point. There is no such firm that will give you a bump in your salary by raising the flag and saying that you have a certain political belief. Or you see what I'm saying? Yes, but what about those companies that are tacitly of one political party or another? And the fact of the matter is, when I say this, we all know what we mean. We mean these social justice firms, like Google, for instance, where they actually have like 2 minutes of hate every week, where all of the staff gather around and basically espouse their liberal positions. I mean, what do you do in that situation? Well, quite frankly, what you have to do is you have to trim your sails and be smart. Yeah, you have to be smart. And it's unpleasant to have to sort of like nod along when you hear some shit that you completely disagree with. But you got to be smart. You got to be smart and you got to be practical. See? At this time, unfortunately, if you have conservative beliefs in a lot of companies that do have this social justice program of theirs, right? You're just going to have to nod along to their bullshit and keep your fucking mouth shut. And look for a better job or a job at some other firm if you can. But you got to be practical in the sense of what do you want to do? Keep your principles and go hungry, or go broke, huh? You see what I'm saying? Especially if you've got a family. You got a family, you got kids, right? You got kids that you want to put through the good private school and what have you. Well, you're just gonna have to suck it up. That's life. I mean, life sucks. You got to get a fucking helmet. And this is one of the shitty parts of life. And it's unfortunate, because it would be wonderful if we could say that we live in a society whereby anybody could say whatever the fuck they wanted, and so far as politics is concerned, and it would not affect them. It would not affect their social standing. It would not affect their professional standing. It would not affect their legal standing. But that is not the case today. If you say the wrong fucking thing, you can lose your job. You can lose all of your friends. And you can even get into legal trouble. Oh yeah. My friends Brittany Pettibone and Martin Sellner in Austria, they are in serious fucking trouble, even though their political beliefs are totally nonviolent and totally reasonable. They are being investigated right now because of their political beliefs. Now, of course, if you decide to be a political activist, you decide that you want to be a political leader or help your political ideas gain traction, then, everything I've said so far, just ignore it, of course. Because if you are going into politics, you're going into politics. So, of course, you're going to be stating very categorically and clearly what you believe in. What are your political beliefs? What are your political principles? No question in that case. But if you are not somebody who wants to seriously go into politics, if you have certain political beliefs, but you see the aim of your life as something different, then you gotta be fucking smart. You gotta be fucking smart. The big problem is when you're trying to understand what you believe in, you see? Because I myself have realized that I could only understand what I thought. I could only articulate my principles by way of talking to other people and having my beliefs clash with theirs, trying to understand what they were thinking and trying to understand what I was thinking and why I didn't like some of the things that they were saying, or sometimes did like some of the things that they were saying. I mean, it's only by way of communication that you yourself are going to be able to understand what you believe in, right? So what I'm saying here, though, is that if you want to do that, then you're going to have to be very, very careful who you talk to. You're going to have to be very, very careful and talk to somebody who is mature enough and sensible enough not to be completely outraged and freaked out when you say something that goes contrary to their beliefs. I remember one of the best conversations I ever had in my life, political conversations. I had it on a picnic table in Washington, D.C., with this girl called Margaret M. I worked with her at this law firm, and I was trying to work my way through the issue of abortion. because I knew that everybody of my class and my educational background was pro-abortion, but I was viscerally against it. And I remember, I would talk to people about it and I would alienate them. They didn't want to talk about these issues, right? They got pissed off at me, as a matter of fact, because they started to think that, what are you doing? Why are you questioning this issue, right? And it was with Margaret in this picnic table where we were at some fast food place. I don't remember where it was. I mean, it was in Washington, D.C., but we were sitting at this picnic table having our fast food meal and talking about abortion. And she was totally pro-abortion, right? But she was sensible enough and kind enough and just open-minded enough to have a serious debate and help me figure out what I was thinking. And that was one of the most important conversations I ever had, because it was after that conversation that I was firmly in the camp that abortion is wrong. That no matter how you cut it, abortion is wrong. And I didn't change her mind. But having that interaction with her helped me to understand her point of view and helped me, more importantly, understand what I was thinking. And see, I recognize that only by way of interaction can you define yourself politically and understand your political beliefs. But for the most part, people don't want to have that, and they're going to be pissed off at you. And something else is going on, of course, is that, see, when you have a serious political conversation with somebody, right, and you start questioning certain core beliefs that they might have, then you're going to start to realize that a lot of times they don't know why they believe these certain ideals, these political beliefs that they hold. They just hold them. And often as not, they hold them because of their background, their class, their social milieu. They hold them for no obvious reason. And so if you actually start to talk to people about their political beliefs, they will start to realize that they don't know why they believe in what they do, and they'll get pissed off. They'll get pissed off at you. You will be the person who will suffer because they will come to realize that they don't know why they believe as they do. You see what I mean? And so actually having some kind of political conversation with somebody, unless you're very, very careful, can have serious unintended consequences and serious backlash at you. Because the fact that you bring up this stuff with somebody who has not really figured out what they believe will make them angry with you. Political beliefs, I mean, they're weird as fuck if you think about it. Because it's only in politics that we ascribe all kinds of moral ideas on somebody else. It's only with politics that we get pissed off with other people when we realize we don't know what we're thinking. I mean, like, if we're talking about anything else, we're talking about movies or books, we're talking about the relationship between the sexes, any other topic, right? You can talk about it, and if you are ignorant about it, you're not going to get upset. And if you believe something thoughtlessly and realize that you believe it thoughtlessly, you're not going to get upset. And if you realize somebody thinks differently from you, you're not going to get upset. It's only with politics that we really get pissed off. We get seriously pissed off, right? We get seriously pissed off when we realize we're ignorant. We get seriously pissed off when we realize that the other guy thinks different from us. We get seriously pissed off. And I think it might be a function of the times. I think somehow politics, of all things, has become this tribal wear. You see what I mean? You're wearing the shirt of your tribe, the beliefs of your tribe, yeah? And so, it's sort of like the Bloods and the Crips, right? The Bloods and the Crips, for those of you who don't know, were two gangs, drug dealing gangs in Los Angeles, right? And their members were basically the same. They were young black men living in South Central Los Angeles. There was no real difference between the Bloods and the Crips. They were the same in terms of who they were. They were the same in the things that they did. They were the same in just about all regards, but they hated one another and they killed one another viciously. That's what's going on with politics. And so you don't want to be a Blood inadvertently in the land of the Crips, or vice versa. And that's why you want to keep your fucking mouth shut.